Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Sammy Rigaud podcast. My name is Sammy Rigaud. It is an honor and a blessing for you to be here with us today. Listen, man, I am not drinking wine right now, but I should be because I just finished my 11th year teaching. I'm excited. It's been a great year. What made this year a little bit different is the fact that, you know, my wife got pregnant about August, or I got my wife pregnant in August, and the rest of the year was just finishing it up and then getting to having the arrival of our beautiful baby girl. Now, I I said I'm only gonna do 25 years teaching, so I'm not even. Am I half? No, I'm not even halfway yet. But there's a lot of things that I've learned and I've gone through, and this year was was especially challenging because I was at a new school and I'm at a private school, so it's a little different. Um, but you know, I do feel accomplished at the end. I did make meaningful connections that I'll talk about later, and I do feel motivated to keep going. Like I, I have a, fired up again at the end of it, and that is a testament in itself, right? So today I want to kind of share a couple things, and then I'll wrap up with the end of the year. So first, um, there's some things I wish I knew before I became a male teacher in general, right? When I became a teacher, like I didn't know how hard teaching really was at all. I didn't know how hard teaching was until I became a teacher. For the most part, when I was a little kid, I would have my teachers that I liked. I loved Joyce Shea. She's since passed away. I love Diane Ponton. Right, she's still here, and she's my friend on Facebook. And her daughter's like this supermodel. Right, that's my lady though, Miss Ponton. Those are teachers that actually went above and beyond and cared. I remember Diane Ponton came to my house because I was slacking off or something and was like I want you to know that I'm invested. And she came to my house. I'll never forget it. She knocked on my door and I seen her through the window and like she showed up. So like that was a teacher that cared. So I knew teachers somewhat cared before I got into teaching. Like I knew you had to care. And I knew you had to like know content and know material and know all that. But I didn't know how hard the day was. I didn't know like, yo, you're there before the kids get there, after they leave. You have them for the most part throughout the day, and it's hard. Like, like I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Like, it's not daycare. Like, you've got a large number of kids in front of you, and you have to handle temperaments. You have to handle flare ups that might happen, accidents, kids getting hurt. You have to motivate the kids. You have to know the material enough to teach it and deliver it to them at a level, right? Because they deserve a good education. There's so much going on. You got to work with coworkers. You got to um um work with other people that might not like you or might not respect you, and you might not like them. You might not respect them, and you kind of like the teaching day is long and it's hard, right? For the first week of school, first 2 weeks when you come back from summer vacation to that, yo, it's hard. Like you're tired. Teachers around the country are tired. I didn't know how hard teaching was until I got into it. I didn't know that like, you know, you can get in a car accident. You can get like, what I mean, you got to go to work and like the kids don't care. Like for the like if you were in an accident, your staff doesn't care. Like it's still a job you got to get done. And I know every profession's like that. But I think other professions you have a break away from the people, right? Teaching you're on all day. And I feel for my teachers that's on all freaking day. You do not get a break. I also didn't know um that you should be slow to be offended. I'll put it that way. Because like I think like, naturally I'm somebody that gets offended. I say easily. I admit I get offended easily. I like respect. I give it. I expect it. But I think in teaching, like when you work with other adults and there's kids around, sometimes the adults start talking to you like you one of those kids, and that's where I always bump heads. Like you're not gonna talk to me like a kid. But I've learned over the time, like in the heat of the moment, as everybody cares and everybody's doing something, it's like people make mistakes. Don't be easily offended. Kids make mistakes. Kids say the wildest things, right? Kids do the wildest things. And as long as you are not going crazy with it, like you can't be easily offended. Sometimes I'll say good morning to a kid and the kid won't respond. Shoot, normally Sammy, I turn up on you, but now it's like, you know what? Like don't be easily offended. Try to see what is going on. Did that kid eat this morning? Did that kid have something, last night? Are they offended by something that happened before they got to my door? How was their morning ride? What are their parents going through? Are their parents in a divorce? Are their parents, is a grandparent pass away? Is somebody in a family doing something? Like, what do they eat? Like, there's so many different things that go into what goes on in a kid every day that it's like, yo, I don't really need to be like so easily offended by what happens every day. Even staff, like I remember my first year teaching, a principal walked me into a room and said, hey, man, like you're the worst we have right now. I was like, whoa. But even then, it's like, you know, he probably had some pressure that he was going through and he needed to pass it to somebody. He passed it to me. Was it cool? Absolutely not. And he apologized, but it's like, yo, don't be easily offended. I learned that. I also learned that, and please don't take this the wrong way. Please don't take this the wrong way. Please, I'm begging you. The 3 times I'm begging you before I go on. Working with women is hard. It's hard. And when you're a teacher or you're a male nurse or you work in an office somewhere and it's a lot of women, it's harder for men because men were raised differently. We have different societal norms. Different expectations. And then we get into the workplace and we got to work with women who have different everything. They're different from there. I've seen a teacher cry her eyes out in a meeting, wipe her tears, and then go work. And I was like, yo, if I ever get to crying at work, like I'm done for the day. I can't turn it on and off. But women have a different strength level than men. It's not more or less, it's different. And men have a different tolerance and principles than women, and it's different. And I've had the hardest time at work, even in my 11th year. I got it wrong this past year. I still get it wrong. It's hard. It's hard. But working with women for me has not been easy. And I love them. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I do get along with older women in the workplace. I think by far those have been my favorite. Why? Because, older women have a straight shooter mentality. It's less of the fluff. It's less about my appearance, and we get along well. But that's what's hard about teaching is that as a male, and I'm pretty sure all of the women teachers that I've worked with, they all have probably looked at me and been like, there's been some tension. Like it's hard to work with him as well because you're with each other for 9 hours a day. And there's a lot on the line. There's kids, there's tests, there's standards, there's a lot going on. And if you're a teacher and you're a male teacher and you're watching this, how has your experience been in the workplace? Let me know. It's hard. Those have been some hard things for me in the workplace. It's hard. It's tough. I think a cool thing, though, this year, as I ended my 11th year, a cool thing for me is that teaching, and I'll break it down this way. Somebody told me I was going through a really rough time in my life. My father was very, very sick. It was right after COVID. He ended up passing away, and it was hard. I got to the end of the school year, and my principal got on a Zoom at the time. His name was Ryan Free. He got on the Zoom and he said, teaching is the only profession that has a beginning and an end. Every school year starts, there's hope, there's optimism, there's energy, there's passion, there's creative juices flowing. And then at the end of the year, you're worn down, you're tired, you're exhausted. I think we try to keep that fire throughout the year, but it goes down a little bit more. And when you see teachers in the hall, you go at the end of the year, you go, how you doing? Ooh, 3 more weeks left, man. We hanging in there. And we talk like that, and it gets to the end. But once you get that last day of school and you cleaned out your room and you did everything, that chapter ends and you get a new chapter. And there's something beautiful about that time is done. That group of kids, that group of students, that assignment is done, and now you're on to the next one. And that's how I feel this year. I finished my 11th year. I started off with energy. I moved on. I got beat up a little bit. Then I found some new energy, and it sustained me to the end. And I fell in love with the children. I fell in love with the workplace. I fell in love with the community. And now, as I get to the end, I got to the end of it. I know that my time with those students, with that community, and that season is finished. And I get to wind down. And now there's going to be a new season coming in. I like it. I want to end with this. This year was a different year for me. I went to a school. My goal was to take a step back. I applied for an assistant position where I would take a step back. We do podcasts more. We do the book tour more. We hang out with our family more. Like, my goal this year was to take a step back. And I was good for it. I signed up for it. I was willing to go and take the step back. That didn't last 2 hours. I signed in. The first day, all the teachers got back. They pulled me to the side and said, hey, could you take this class and be their lead? And I was like, oh, I don't want to do it. I just want to be in the background. I don't want that level of commitment. I just want to. Then I had some conversations with God, or basically God told me, hey, listen, like, this is your assignment for the year. These kids need you. They don't think they do, and you don't think you do, because you don't know anything. You don't know them yet, but you're going to need this group, and they're going to need you. So I accepted, took it, and boy, I am happy I did. I got to fall in love with 19 students, all different background, American, German, African-American, Pakistani, you name it, Asian. I got them all. I got to fall in love with these kids and really give my all. I was hesitant at first, but I put on all my effort and had a great year. And I thank God for that. And I thank those kids and those families for that, because they was open-minded to me. My stuff looks different. I teach different. And I care a lot. And it looked different. It felt different. But they were open-minded to it. And I think we all benefited and had a great year. If you're a teacher right now, be open-minded. Know that every school year has a start and it has a beginning. And once that, what'd I just say? Start to begin. Every school year has a start and an ending. And once you get to the ending, your time's done. Get back in the lab, tighten up your skills, get better, because there's another group of students waiting for you to impact their lives. This is Sammy Rigaud podcast. I wanted to slow it down and give you this during all the sports talk. I wanted to slow down and give you this because I just had my 11th year of teaching, and it feels good. If you're new here, subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and stay tuned for everything we do here. God bless you.